No, I'm not listening to anything you have to say. I have my own problems. It's me, it's myself, and I. I'm not listening to any other problems. Let's talk about that. 5 minutes!
Wait a moment, you're starting.
Oh, I'm starting.
I see that now.
Can you close it? Yeah, good morning, beautiful people. It is Tuesday. Last day of April. Can you believe that?
No.
She gone. So, a lot of people in this world and the church likes to close their ears to other people's problems. Oh, that doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. Let's ignore that. It's me, myself, and I, and I'm about my problems. I'm about my complaints. And we don't think of others. And which is interesting because the law and the prophets hang on 2 commandments. And Jesus told us this. Jesus says, if you want to fulfill the law and the prophets, the 2 things you have to do. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, mind, and soul. And the second one is like it, is to love your neighbor as yourself. And he doesn't go into the third one, where it says, love myself. It says to love your neighbor as yourself. Which means if I love my neighbor, which is really anybody, and they love me, then we're all going to provide each other's needs. Oh my goodness. How can that happen, Frankie? Well, if we were pointing towards Jesus and we were getting closer to each other, then we would provide each other's needs. We wouldn't have to rely on the government. It's not the government's responsibility to feed the poor or clothe the naked or help the people in prison or help the people on the streets or the drug addicts. It is the church that needs to do that job. Because we're supposed to be representatives of Jesus. And Jesus says, if you do it to the least of these, you do it for me. And this is not a new concept. In Proverbs chapter 21:13, it says this, whoever closes his ear to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered. What? God doesn't answer some people? Yep. There are few scripture, but there are a little bit of scripture that says God's not going to answer you if you don't put in the blank. He's not going to answer you. People aren't going to answer you if you can't help other people, and it's all about you. You think people are really going to help you? No. Obviously, Christians should help those who are their enemies or who are selfish, who are prideful, because they were once like that. We need to help our enemies. We need to help other people or immature Christians. We need to help other people. God says to do that. No matter what they do to you, it's your response to other people that matters. Because Jesus says that we need to help others despite what they do to us. Because Jesus did that. I mean, when he went to the cross, he was beaten, he was put on the crown of thorns, he was whipped, he was, half dead when he was put on the cross, nails. And what did he do? Absolutely nothing. He didn't speak a word. And yet what did he say? He loved us. And he said, it is finished. And Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. And so, the poor will always be around. But it's our response that matters. It's not if they accept it or if they run away with it and sell it on the street for money or whatever. You give. It's your response that you give. And then that's between them and God, what they do with it. We need to have a heart for people and stop thinking about our problems. Because God can take care of those. That's why we're a Christian, because God, we can lay it at his feet and then we can go do stuff for him. And we don't have to worry about it. But we like to start picking stuff off of God's feet and saying, oh, it's my problem and I'm going to do it myself. But that's why we bring it to God and then we are free to go out and do it to others. That's the freedom. We can leave it there and we have freedom in God. So my encouragement for you today is open your ears to the poor, to the drug addicts, to the people who are destitute, who are needing help. Open your ears so God may hear us. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.